I'm Terrence Samuel. This is 5 Questions with the Washington Post. And joining us today is Senator Hatch of Utah.
Nice to be with you.
One of the subtexts of the entire campaign year has been the split in the party. Conservatives versus the establishment. You had a tough primary. Give me your assessment now of where the party is. Is that still a problem?
Well, it's a healthy party, and we have different points of view, and I think that's a very, very, very good thing. You know, we have the Tea Party. Actually, I get along well with most of the Tea Party. We have everybody from libertarians to the people on the left. It's a party that is a big tent party. We want everybody we can get into the party, and I think we have our usual hot debates. So do the Democrats, and I think this convention is showing that we can be unified.
Mitt Romney delivers his speech on Thursday night. In terms of priorities, what are the 1 or 2 top things he needs to do with that speech?
Well, I know that he's going to make a very clear case, it seems to me, that we're in trouble. This country's in a colossal mess. And the reason we are is because of a lack of good economics, a lack of real good reliance on the private sector, and too much reliance on the public sector, which is where President Obama thinks everything can be pulled out of the mess. Well, there's no way that the public sector is going to pull us out of the mess. It's going to have to be the private sector. And Romney, throughout his lifetime, has been successful in everything he's ever attempted to do. Whether it was Bain & Company, where he was tremendously successful for the shareholders and other partners and members of Bain, to where the Utah Olympics, we were in trouble, $400 million in debt, accusations of fraud, mismanagement, criminal allegations that weren't accurate, but they were there. He put together the best Winter Olympics in history. And of course, we wound up with a $100 million surplus. Now, that's what I call leadership. Or whether it was as governor of the state of Massachusetts, $3 billion in the hole, going further in the hole. He turned that all around, balanced the budget every year for 4 straight years with a legislature that was probably 85% opposed to almost everything he wanted to do. And by any measure, was a very, very prominent and powerful governor. This is a man who everything he has done, he's done it successfully. And he's a man that you don't have to worry about skeletons in his closet. He's lived a very good life.
So, you're a Mormon, he's a Mormon. Do you think that his nomination can do for Mormons what essentially the Kennedy nomination did for Catholics?
I don't think that's why he's in the race. I mean, let's face it, the Mormon Church, when you're a bishop, and I've been that, or a stake president, you really work with people. It's the only church in the world with a completely unpaid ministry and missionary system. We're called to these jobs, and we serve voluntarily, and you help people as a bishop. Mitt Romney helped people with their personal problems, their interfamily problems, their financial problems, economic problems. You get right down on the base level with people, and you work out their problems. And as a stake president, he presided over a whole bunch of congregations that where bishops and their counselors work very intimately with the people to try and help them with their problems and to help them to be satisfied with life and to help them to know that there's a real future out there. He was, by any measure, a very, very successful, not only just businessman, but religious leader. And I have to say, just down-home good person. I know him really well.
You're on the ballot in November.
Yeah.
If you win, it'll be term number 7.
Right.
What does a U.S. Senator want to do in his 7th term that he couldn't do in the first 6?
Well, I've been chairman of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, probably the largest authorizing committee, chairman of the Judiciary Committee, which is no question a powerful committee. But the most powerful committee in the Senate, and maybe in the whole Congress, is the Finance Committee. I'm currently the Republican leader on the Finance Committee, and I'm hopeful that we might be able to take over and that I could be chairman of the Finance Committee. Should that occur, you can count on us doing everything we can to reform this bloated tax code and to get it so that it works for everybody. You can just count on me doing everything I possibly can to help save Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, our entitlement programs, that our seniors rely on, and ultimately everybody's going to rely on. You can count on me working to reform the tax code so that it'll work again. It's so bloated and filled with all kinds of contradictory things. Nobody really knows how to fully understand the tax code, and that's unfortunate because it should be much better. But we also do, I think, a heck of a job in international trade bonding and a lot of other things. It's a very powerful committee, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing. Although, as a ranking member, I work very closely with Max Baucus, our chairman. He's a good guy, and we've gotten a lot done so far.
Question number 5. Can you recover from what's happened in the Missouri Senate race, and what are the chances of you being able to take control of the Senate and you becoming chairman of the Finance Committee if you don't win in Missouri?
Well, it's always uphill. There's nothing easy for Republicans, you know. The unions alone raised $14 billion with a B, you know, and they put most of all of that into Democratic Party politics on the local, state, and federal levels with the best dues-paid political operatives in the business. So we have to overcome that. That's a grave disadvantage, but we'll do it. All I can say is that the Republican Party is growing up in many, many ways.
Did you make it a little tougher for yourself in Missouri, though?
Did I what?
Did the Todd Akin situation in Missouri make it a little tougher?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm not pleased with what he said, and I personally believe he should have withdrawn, and he may yet withdraw. He may win if he stays in. I don't know. All I can say is that it was unfortunate that anybody would talk like that about something as sensitive as abortion. And I'm disappointed that he did that. But that isn't going to stop us from winning this. The Democrats have about 12 seats that are up that we have a shot at. We have maybe 3 or 4 that they have a shot at. And I think we can hold on to most all of those. So, yeah, we have a pretty good chance of at least hitting 50-50, 51-49, maybe even 52-48, and maybe even better, because the American people are fed up with what's going on. I think they'd like a change of leadership. I think they'd like to see somebody like Orrin Hatch as chairman of the Finance Committee, and they know that I'm one of those who can bring both sides together. Now, sometimes only that far. I'd like to get them that far and really do it right, but you know, I've got an open mind. I love my Democratic colleagues, and I want to work with them, but you know, we got to get them where they want to work with us too.